It's the fabulous number 5. Top 5 of your choosing.
Hello, it's me, and today I am doing my top 5 picks of not an anthology. I know, a shocker. Right, today I am doing the top 5 story picks from Dark Avenue by Bryan Smith. Now, I've recently put a full review up on my page of what I thought of the entire anthology in its entirety. And it's up there for you guys to read when you get a chance. As you can see, I have glammed up for this one. Look at it, pretty. Oh, it's shiny. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into this. So, my first pick will have to be a bit of a shocker. You see, most of the stories in here were very compelling. Obviously, you had the first one, 1342, Lindley Road, which follows Molly, a young girl, and her cousin Jared, who end up investigating the house on their street, it's your haunted house story. And I did enjoy it. It was a great start-up point to the entire book. Sets the scene beautifully. Characters are likeable. The dream sequence was imaginative. I really liked that because it gave you this alternate kind of reality. Had a very Insidious vibe too, which I really liked, especially when it came to the flashbacks of the bad stuff that happened to the families that did live in that house, and how they lost their lives, how they got possessed by the house. And yeah, it is a really intense and good story. And obviously you're following Molly's interaction with the house as well as her cousins, who unwittingly ends up looking into the house and seeing something that basically changes him completely. Won't give too much away, but it is a good story. That's my number 1. Okay, then we move on to number 2, which is Dice. And yes, I'm kind of going order-wise. I will mix it up in a minute. But I did like Dice. Dice was different. You follow Anthony. Well, first off, you don't follow Anthony. You follow a murder, which is gory, gruesome, and very kind of grabbing. It really does grab your attention. The moment you start getting into the story, you want more, and that means it leads in great into the next part, which introduces you to Anthony. Anthony is constantly carrying around dice. He's not sure of himself. He's still living in the past of dwelling on what humiliation he actually received during high school, and it's kind of affected him as an adult. He seems to have a thing where he lures women and he chooses whether to kill them on the luck of the dice. So for me, it kind of brought back a little bit of a Dice Man vibe. If you've not read the book, it's gruesome as hell, but it is good. Guy decides to bet his entire life and start basically living his life by a dice, whether the outcome is good or bad. So I kind of got that vibe from it, but I love how it was twisted into a serial killer kind of sense. And the twist at the end, not going to tell you any more than that, but it is worth a read. Again, those are the top 2 so far. So number 3 had to be Rightful Place, where you follow Michelle and her boyfriend. I say boyfriend, his husband. And they are going on what seems like a normal beach kind of honeymoony kind of anniversary style, purely because you get a nice little flashback to the summer of 2012, and that sets the story up, sets the scene, gives you an idea of the characters and their background, what they mean to each other, which makes the ending all the more heartbreaking. And for me, it was a horror love story. When you delve into it and you get sucked in, you'll understand why I call it that, because it is intensely heartstrings are pulled to the extreme with that one. Pace is brilliant, and the emotion and atmosphere is there. There's also the creepy vibe, the suspense is there. It's perfect, and it's something I haven't come across in a while, and I loved it. So that became my number 3. Now, then it started getting harder because I have to do with some honourable mentions, such as Notification, following Trevor, and how the president's reign affects social media. And then there's also, there's other ones in there that I absolutely adored. For example, A Different Kind of Therapy, which in itself was creative and an interesting use of an interview becoming a story. So it's a psychiatry interview with a lot more to it. But I love the style that he went with. When Brian chose this particular way to project the story, he did it spot on. It really fits the theme, the atmosphere, how the story progresses. You're going along with the characters as much as you are with the story. And when the reveal happens, you don't quite expect it, and that's why I really like that one. But, yeah, okay, I need to go back to my tops. So, yeah, this one will surprise you. It is a crime horror. To be honest, it's not what I expected to catch me off guard. I'm not a big crime noir fan, but I got a very nice Frank Miller vibe from this story. Almost Liam Neeson-y as well. A rescue story of a guy called Uncle Bobby, who is going on a rescue mission to save this girl, and it is brilliant. The action sequence, spot on. You pace, spot on. Your character, instantly love him, bub. Want to know more. Love the mystery behind him. Would love to see this character become a reoccurring character, because he's got the spark. And he's definitely got the personality of vengeance that I like. He seems like your everyday kind of a guy that you get the vibe that he used to be a cop, and so he's kind of away from retirement, a couple of days away from retirement, and he's ended up getting pulled into a family mess, so to speak, and you'll get that when you read it. There is some incredible stories in here, but the other one that has to take number 5, it's gotta be Big Brother. It was simple and beautiful and well done, and I love the connection between Tyler and Jane as brother and sister. And it's a very different take on a vampire story to what I expected. Not gonna lie, it was bloody perfect. I mean, I really did enjoy it. But then again, this is where I really struggle, because along with Big Brother, I have to stick 2 stories in the top 5. And I've never done that before, but this one takes joint 5th place, and it's got to be Odio. I can't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's O-D-I-O. O-D-I-O. I do. But anyway, it's Latin for hate. And it is a story about be careful what you get from a bargain table, especially if it's a book with no author and it looks raggedy and scary as hell. These 2 stories had something very different to offer. They were unique concepts. Like, Big Brother was very much let the right one in kind of vibe. And then you had Odio, which was a very much, it was very different, kind of like, do not read this book kind of Necronomicon vibe, but in a very different context. Like, the way that the book influences the characters and the way that it changes Justin's relationship with his wife Claire and his best friend. I think it's Tyler's his best friend. No, Tyler's the other one. Ignore me. But yeah, the way it changes his core support system, and the fact that the women, you know, if you find two women who are willing to give you a book for free and then they're taking the piss out of you for having to want the book, you'd just be like, nah, sod this, keep your fucking book, keep it gone. But no, decide to take the book. And then all hell breaks loose, and then there's body parts flying all over the place, and I'm just there reading it going, ah! So, again, a shocker. A heartstring puller, because the relationship between Claire and her husband, Justin, is spot on. You feel the emotion, you feel the love between them. As far as romantic relationship connections are concerned, Brian's got it down to an art form. He really knows what he's doing. As connections between characters is not an issue for this guy. He knows how to project the right body language, the right speech, the right dialogue to go with these characters, and he knows how to show as much as tell. His vivid imagination shows through in his detail. He's incredibly detailed when it comes to his stories. That's why I'm not giving too much away, because I don't want to spoil the stories for you guys. But those are my top 5 plus little one, because those 2 stories did merit becoming a double. They did merit taking the 5 spot together, because they both had unique takes on something that's been done before, but it's been projected a lot better. The concept's a lot fresher. The dialogue was a lot nicer than what I've seen in the past. And of course, I absolutely loved the way that these characters bonded and the relationships between the characters. They were spot on. He's brilliantly done a good job at that. Anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting on, and I'm going to let you guys have a read of the book. My full review, obviously, with, you know, my pros and cons, are all on my page, my Goodread and my Amazon. But these are my top 5. I hope you appreciate the author's hard work. I know I have. And I also have to shake my fist at the author for making it so bloody hard for me to pick so many. He did make my job a lot harder, especially when I was kind of eyeing up Dark Avenues as well. That's another good story, but I can't give that away because I don't think it's fair to give away one of the main stories that follows with the title Dark Avenue, because, you know, the main reason you're going to look into this is because, oh, look, there's a story in here that's Dark Avenue. I want you guys to explore this book. I want you guys to tell me what your top 5 are, as far as you're concerned. And like I said in my review, there are some things that can be improved, but they are the minutest of things. If you can look past them, then you will love Brian's work, because he is a hard-working author. He's done an amazing job at putting this collection together. He's done an amazing job at the concepts and giving them this life and this vibrant description, detail, the character build, the structures of the story. They're all great. I definitely think you guys should give him a shot. And also have a look at the stories that I recommend, because, you know, I do like those stories, and they're pretty cool. There's also one that's kind of a Jaws / Moby Dick style story, which I really liked. Like I said, that there's just that's only 5, all right? Technically 6. Of mine that are my top favourites. You will find some I guarantee that you will like more than my choices. Maybe the Western will be the one that definitely tickles your fancy. I like Westerns to an extent. I'm not a massive fan, but I did like that Western. It was a really good story. Proper Burial was definitely something that I didn't expect. Same with Uncle Bob. It was a very kind of crime noir story, and it really took me by surprise that I liked it. So again, I'm going to get you guys to go, and as you can see, Creepy Bunny's not here because Creepy Bunny will be doing Creepy Corner shortly, and he'll be doing that installment soon. So I will let you guys have the rest of your evening. Thanks for listening to me waffle once again.